YouTube, what's the deal? It's your boy TVB coming back at y'all with another video, and today we got a video on Hayabusa today, man. 750 still down from Sprocket Carrier Kush Drive, just freaking deciding a grenade. So we waiting on that to get here. It should be here sometime this week. I think it said like it come on Saturday, I believe. So we just waiting to that, and then we'll be back on the 750 getting content on the 750. But right now it is down, so we on the Hayabusa. Man, today I'm gonna be doing a video on my first ride on the Hayabusa, and yeah, basically it ain't my first ride, but it's my first ride for YouTube, so that's gonna be the title of the clip. So let's get it. I'm gonna just show y'all how, man, I ride this thing all the time, and I ride the Hayabusa too. I've been riding it for probably over like a little over four years now, and I've just been going back and forth. But man, I'm gonna just show y'all that these freaking skills that you learn on a smaller bike and how they just correlate over to a bigger bike or any other bike you get down the line from after owning that bike. Once you learn how to actually like perfect your skills, not even perfect, but just like learn how to improve your actual fundamental riding skills, like literally the basics, and how it'll affect just getting on any bike after that. Yeah, so I won't be able to show y'all like no cornering on it as I can, like corner the shit out of this bike, but I can't do it today because I'm at the house and I'm not riding to the canyons just to make a video right now. So I'm gonna just show y'all like how just the overall maneuverability and like speed or like habits that I have on this bike that just transfer over to this bike, and it's real easy. Although this bike is extremely heavier compared to like a regular 1000, but it literally works just the same. Recording this freaking part of the video. I was only recording for like 5 minutes when I freaking noticed. But man, I freaking started recording this video with the aspect ratio on like 9/16, I believe. It was like in the aspect ratio of a YouTube short rather than a long form 16:9 video. But yeah, now we back. Let's get it. Alright, but yeah, as I was saying, well, y'all didn't hear me saying it because I was recording a freaking different video, well, the video in a different form. But man, when I tell you, the only thing that's really a difference on these things as far as this versus or in comparison with my Gixxer 750 would literally to me be the weight. That's the only noticeable difference that I notice when it comes to things that would actually affect the way that the person would ride the bike. Because you know, man, as bikers, I don't care how seasoned you are, man, sometimes when we come to like stops and stuff, and when we sitting with the bikes in a still position or in a stalled position, we could get a little clumsy. And sometimes, man, we be leaning over or just getting off balance when it comes to sitting still with these things. And with that, you might end up leaning a little bit too far with your bike and then having to muscle it back up. But as I was saying, man, doing it with this thing, it ain't no muscling this thing back up. If that thing is ready to fall because you got off balance a little bit, man, that thing is falling. Ain't no, oh, I think I'm strong enough, I can muscle this thing back up. Cause man, the way the weight is distributed on this thing, it's like this thing gonna go straight to the ground as soon as you freaking get off balance a little bit. But if you could get past that, as far as like rideability of this thing, literally you only notice the weight when you're sitting still. That's with anything though. You only notice the weight when you're sitting still. Because like as far as when I'm rolling, I can like make this thing just as nimble as my Gixxer 750. Of course, I'm more like I'm incredibly more nimble on my Gixxer 750, and I could just throw it around differently. But overall, like this thing can do what it do, whether that's freaking leaning, man, wheeling, racing, all that, just for lack of a better term. Because I took this thing to the canyon on multiple occasions, and every time they kept saying I was riding it like it was a 600. Because I'm so used to like flicking my 750 so hard in the corners and like riding in an aggressive like riding manner, that when I hopped on this, it just felt like second nature almost. Like it didn't feel like the bike was too heavy or anything. Like yeah, I noticed it when I was sitting still, but when I started riding, man, this thing dipped down like a freaking 600 as long as you know what you're doing. And then I just feel like that's where overall like seat time comes into play because I've been riding for a little while now, so it just feels like I said, second nature to me. Like it's just like my bike with a little bit of added weight to it. But as far as power, oh yeah, it's a big difference. I can't even lie. Like I ain't gonna sit here and bullcrap nobody. Like it's a huge difference, especially when it comes. I'm not gonna. Well, the way my Gixxer 750 is set up, it's set up to basically wheelie like first to third. So you don't really notice the difference in power on this compared to my Gixxer 750 the way that I have it set up. But once you start getting into them upper gears, I'll say once we probably hit like third gear, that's when this thing really starts to like get up out of there, you know. Especially in them higher RPMs when that horsepower just comes into play. Man, that's literally what I preach, man. Practice on a smaller bike, and then once you start practicing on that smaller bike and you like perfect certain like riding habits, man, you can go ride anything. Because like me personally, I know this thing might be extremely large, but me personally, I'm gonna ride it like it's my 750, man. It ain't no thing but a chicken wing, right? But this thing definitely does what it does, have a lot of freaking power, like, and man, for it to be what it is so freaking comfortable compared to like riding like a Gixxer 750 or S1000 or even my old R1. Compared to this, man, this thing feels like a couch. Like you can ride this thing for hours, no diddy. But yeah, man, like literally all you need to ride these things, if you want one of these, man, is just that freaking throttle responsibility. As long as you're responsible with how you're riding, it's good, man. But I really gotta get a video of me taking this through the canyons, because I need to get a video of me taking my 750 through the canyons as well. But I just haven't been to the canyons in a while, maybe like 2 months or so. But man, these things, this thing is a machine. Like, man, I remember playing freaking, if y'all know the game Ride, man, I created this Busa with some red wheels on it, man, and that was like my favorite bike to ride on that game. Although I have my Gixxer 750 already, I created the Busa with some freaking red wheels. With a it had an acro pipe, but this got a full Yoshimura Alpha T system on it. But man, it sounds amazing. But man, literally, I thought it was like how do I put it? I thought, man, you could only like ride this thing like that at like a pro level, and I don't see myself as a pro at all when it comes to like racing. But man, these things are actually freaking nimble as hell, as long as you know what to do on them, and as long as you got the ergonomics as it is from factory. Like, this thing ain't lowered or nothing. It's just like bolt-on parts, rather than freaking me like lowering this thing, changing the swing arm and things of that nature. Because I ain't gonna lie, you probably won't see me changing no swing arm on no bike. I just enjoy the actual riding and being able to do everything in the sport of riding, rather than handicap my bike to one thing. And I guess that might be like the young part in me, because I genuinely just like riding still. But yeah, as far as like weight, that's the only thing I can say. Like, the ergonomics on this thing feel just equivalent to my 750. Like, yeah, I can feel a difference, but as far as like the way it affects you maneuvering the bike, you just might have to put a little more emphasis when you're doing things. But yeah, that's about it. And these things power moving. That shit feel crazy. That shit feels crazy. But we're gonna go hit the highway real quick to give y'all some power runs real quick, so y'all can see what this thing do. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it's a fucking monster. Like literally, these things are some monsters. And man, I remember when I had posted a video of me doing a wheelie on this thing. They was like, what the hell? I didn't know you could wheelie a Hayabusa. And I'm just like, yeah, man, it's just like any other bike. Cause it is. It might be a tank, but man, if you know how to ride, you know how to ride. Ain't no excuse for not knowing how to ride. Cause these things were set up to be ridden. But I'm gonna show y'all how we gonna hop on the freeway real quick and give my reaction of how this thing do on the freeway as far as like high speed runs and stuff, and where that power really comes into play. Oh yeah, but another thing, I said it ain't no difference. Man, the sound of this thing, that extra 600 cc's, them cubic centimeters make a difference. I ain't gonna lie. Cause my thing is strong like a straight pug compared to this bike. Let's get it. And the freeway don't look too crowded today. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to get a second gear pull on this thing? I can't do first. I will do first, but I'm by myself, and I don't want to slow down that much on the freeway. All right, fuck it. Let's do first. Let's see what this thing do. We're gonna get a pull on this thing. First gear pull real quick. Let's get it. Let's get it. But yeah, man, this thing is a freaking powerhouse in my opinion. Yeah, I know it's not a 1000 as far as like how light it is, but man, once you set these things up right, these things can kill. And it's just the overall more comfortable bike than a freaking 1000 or like any other hunched over sport bike with that seating position. Like these Ford touring bikes is the real deal. But yeah, man, I gotta get a video for y'all of me taking these things to the canyons, like, cause I like, man, I love this bike so much, because they just feel like more of a challenge when it comes to pushing this thing, because it's something that you don't see every day. So being able to ride this, man, like I said, you can go hop on anything after that. Let's get y'all wheelie too, because I know y'all be freaking watching my wheelies and shit. Let's go. Throw that joint up in second gear. Tap that brake, make sure it's there. Alright. Not second gear. I'm a wheelie too slow for it to be in second gear. First, oh shit. We can throw it up right here after the light. First gear. Clutch up on the wheelie, man. I gotta put this video that I freaking made on this bike. But these things, come up, and I got a freaking brand new tire on the back, so the PSI is at 40 when typically I ride at like 32. So I can't go as far back right now because it's gonna go to the side. Just like that, and that's what we don't want to deal with. Because since it's all the way inflated, the contact patch on the back tire is like so thin compared to if it was like deflated a little bit, maybe at like 30. I'm probably right. This one at like what, like 34. What's the deal, y'all? We back at the crib, and I didn't close out the video on the GoPro, so I'm closing it out now. But that'll conclude today's video of like basically the difference between this bike and the actual rideability of this bike. I know I didn't get to go to many corners, so I'm gonna have to film one of those videos for y'all. But yeah, that'll conclude today's video. And stay tuned because I'm gonna end up filming a top speed run on this bike probably tomorrow, because with the gear and stuff, I don't know exactly what the top speed is at, so I just want to get accurate speed as far as like GPS wise. So I'm gonna throw my other GoPro in there because I could use the GPS filter on there, and we're gonna see how fast this joint go. Because I'm assuming I'm gonna say probably 175 to like 180. But we gonna see, so stay tuned. But with that being said, that'll conclude today's video, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.